Alright! Another day! Another PEINTEINGU! Myro! My monkey brother! Let us remind these fertile mortals of the meaning of honor, beauty, and monkey business. Here we go! Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. It's painting goo. PEINTEINGU! It's PEINTEINGU! It's fucking goo! It's free! Cha-cha-chi! PEINTEINGU! 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 Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, where's my sip-sippo? Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. It's PEINTEINGU! PEINTEINGU! IP3! Cha-cha-chi! PEINTEINGU! 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 Oh! Oh, Gepu. Sip, sip. Alright, Myro. Let's bring it home! Painting goo! 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 Painting goo! Frem! Painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. Let's painting goo. 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 Goo goo goo. Goo 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 goo. PEINTEINGU! Goo 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 goo! Oh, that's some good tea. Oh! PEINTEINGU! PEINTEINGU. Oh, right, you know the drill. Pay the monkey. Put a tip in the monkey's bowl. Greetings. This whole no caffeine thing is really beginning to affect me. As I descend into proper PEINTEINGU posture, revering my glorious refroppy topnotto, to fend off any Roku Oni attempting to interrupt the goo. I am tired. The utter rack of caffeine in my body is slowly killing my mortar side. At least I am not experiencing headaches, but fuck me. I could just go asleep right now But I won't, because I'm here, entertaining you rot. Why? Because I love you. You are my chuponita, and you need to be entertained. Because most of the shit out there is fucking demonic. Although, it seems the tide is turning. It seems the tide is turning, which is good. It is good, it is positive, it should be recognized, it should be spoken about, that it would appear that that orange ugly fuck has kickstarted what we did think would inevitably happen. That the people would eventually, despite their laziness, complacency, cowardice, they would eventually be like, something like, this is a bit too much. It's a bit too much gay. Me no reiki the gay. Get that gay away. Pay your gay away. Go to owenbenjamin.com and pay your gay away. If you haven't done that yet, you're probably a fag. What news of the Big Beru, Sabaru-sama? Is everything good? I have not been on Telegram. My phone is vexing me. The storage on my mobile device is full, and I cannot delete any of the photos because it is a old phone of the females, and it is an iPhone, so they are all rigged together by some sort of etheric fucking demon spell. So if I delete photos to access the storage and free up the storage on what is currently my phone, I will delete them from her phone. So, I must wait until the female is prepared to take the time to dump all of the holiday photos and the photos of food and such onto the laptop or an external device so that I may use my phone again. Ridiculous. Ridiculous! Although, having, or rather not having, a functioning phone for months now, really, right, a furry functioning phone for months now, is glorious. I haven't had to be on the phone to anyone for months. It's glorious. I am not tied to telecommunications. I simply work out, eat, sleep, and PEINTEINGU. Which is good enough for me. Oh! But seriously. Whew. On a whim deciding to just quit coffee. Because I hadn't had any coffee in 24 hours. I'm not regretting it. But I am a tad surprised. I didn't think that... It makes sense, though. I mean, my body is responding in ways that I did not foresee. I.e., bouts of tremors and anxiety. I remember people describe... I remember hearing people describe before that it's like, you know, oh, like if you have PTSD or if you have anxiety, it's like just an existential dread that you can't explain. I know what you're talking about now. Caffeine withdrawals is what did it for me. Caffeine withdrawals. I think that's what it is anyway. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'll find out soon enough. I'll find out soon enough if it's not the fucking caffeine. I'm going through a process of elimination to find out what the fuck is wrong with me. But I kind of know, you know. Especially the last few months. Jesus Christ. Haven't been sleeping well. Drank way too much alcohol in Portugal and over Christmas. It's time to give my liver a rest. And what's the last time I had alcohol? Oh, I had 2 Copperberg on the weekend, didn't I? And a Guinness. Did I finish the Guinness? I don't think I even finished. I didn't even finish the Guinness. That's how you can tell. That's how you can tell. Right. Who has honor this fine day? Sorry, I was like, if I seem like a bit like off my game, it's like it's because of that. Like, I was lying down on the bed before the stream because I was just like, I'm just got like I did all the preparatory things, like getting everything ready, and I was like, I'm just gonna lie down for a sec because like I'm just fucking exhausted. Like, I need to rest my spine. And then I swear to God, like the second I lay down and put my head like on the pillow, I'd pulled the pillow under my head, and I lay there, and it was just like this wave of like, just go to sleep, just do it, give in, just close your eyes and snore. It's just like, no, I'm resting. Took out the phone, went on YouTube, just watching random shit, like just like stay awake. You are resting, but you are not sleeping. I could have just like gone. I would have been out immediately. Like, so I'm gonna do the stream, and then I'm gonna make sure I have dinner ready, and then I think I'm gonna go for a nap because like what I'm pretty sure is caffeine withdrawals is kicking my ass right now. I feel better than I did yesterday though, definitely. Yesterday I had more of like I had like moments where I was like, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me? Like having these like nervous fucking just these bouts of like anxiety. Like the only way I could describe it is like what people refer to as anxiety. Because if I was to try to describe it in another way, you guys would probably get it where I'm coming from. But like other people would just be like, "What are you talking about?" Like, or I can imagine they would anyway. But it's like I can feel. You know that sense. You know that sensation when you go over like a bump at like enough speed in a car, or like the car comes off the road a bit, just a little bit. If you go over a bumpy bridge or like enough of an incline quickly, like a nice rounded bridge, or when you're on like a roller coaster or something. You know that feeling of going down suddenly after going up. You know. And you get that like butterfly like in your balls and in your stomach, like in the bottom of your stomach. It feels like that, but like just all over my body and not as bad. It's weird. The best way I could describe it is like a semi-regular. I don't know. Like just for the last couple of days, I've had like waves of like what feels like an oncoming panic attack or something, but I'm just standing there like Legolas being like, it appears something is happening to my body. Like, cause I'm kind of like a fucking android sometimes where I'm like, you know, assessing myself in my head and, you know, am I having a heart attack? What's going on? Like, I've like freaked the female out before, like when I had that throbbing thing that kept happening, and that hasn't happened in a while. For months I would get these things randomly where like my heart rate would what I thought was my heart rate would just all of a sudden skyrocket, and it would go from like da-dum 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 to like da-dum 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 da-dum, and I thought it was my heart because that's what it felt like. I get numbness in the back of my head. My breathing would be like a little bit laboured and like the kind of that nervous breathing and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Am I having a panic attack or what the fuck is happening? Like, so I'd squat and just like belly breathe, like, you know, like proper, like just like really deep breathing. And typically on an inhale, it would just stop. And I was like, that's not a panic attack. Like abruptly stop, you know? Not like a gradual of like, you know, okay, my heart rate's coming down now. No, like immediately, boom, no more throbbing. And I was like, that's fucking weird. So I was like, okay, self-diagnosis. It's probably a trapped nerve in my left shoulder or something, you know, like really in there somewhere in my back. And sometimes when I turn or I'm breathing while I'm moving or something like that, it triggers it and it's just like throbbing. And because of where it is, I think it's my heart. And it was one of those things, like, and it's like, I'm fine, you know, which is so funny to me. Like, you know, like I've been told by a chiropractor that I could have like, what was it, colon cancer or like stomach cancer or some shit like that. Like, and I just laughed at her, like, you know, And that was like 2 years ago. We'll find out in 10 years or some shit, maybe, like, if she was right, like. But that's how I operate. It's just like, I don't, unless it's like, unless there's like some sort of evidence that like, this is what's wrong with you. Some sort of correlating data point. I'm like, well, I don't know what's wrong with me. So like, I can speculate, but in the moment, I'm just going to rest and drink plenty of water and eat right and shit and all, like. And the amount of times I've done that, and like a few days or weeks or months later, I'm like, fine. Whatever has been bugging me is gone now. It's past. Like, and like, it's not like I don't get moments where I'm like, oh God, should I go to doctor? But then I'm like, no. I mean, like, it's not like it's not like I've been bleeding from my nose for the past like 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way I assess things is like, okay, that's potentially death. Like, you know, in the immediate sense, you should probably go see someone about that. Like, you know, I know, like, I've built up a repertoire of things where I'm like, no, yeah, I don't need to worry about that. That feels, or that feels like something that will just pass. And that's what this feels like. Is like, I need to change my habits and my diet. That's what my body is telling me. Is like, dude, you're not getting enough sleep. You're drinking way too much coffee. You're smoking too much. Like, the caffeine and the nicotine, like even though I've been smoking for years, I don't have to, like, I could just go a few hours without a cigarette. And sometimes I get the spinnies. Because my body is like, where's the fucking nicotine, you asshole? And then I'll just have a puff of a cigarette, and it's like, oh God, I feel a bit ill. Like, even though your body's craving it, like, it's so weird, like, so fucking weird. I wonder what Big Bear's fucking. I wonder what's wrong with him. He's never done something like that, has he? He's not that kind of guy to just be like, I'm done. I like, you know, like, I'm that kind of guy. I get to my limit all the time. I get to my threshold very often. Right, that's it. Fuck you. I'll come back later. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Owen fucking like, right, I'm fucking done with this shit. Just pack it in, like. And then he deletes the message. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Probably like an hour later, he was like, I'm just being a bitch. I hope he's alright. I can only imagine what he's dealing with. Doesn't he still have that fucking court case with that Mexican wanker? That fucking, give me back my cameras! Give me back my cameras or I'll destroy your community! What a pathetic loser. Oh, God. Well, that's what happens when, like, you're very successful and charismatic and you can create a community and all this fucking shit, and like, you come up with good ideas and you got great rhetoric and you come up with catchy one-liners and all this shit, like, and you can tweet something and it sends ripples out. You're going to attract lunatics. I've attracted lunatics, and I have a fucking, like, tiny YouTube presence, like, do you know what I mean? And like, it's just YouTube. It's not like I'm on, like, I am on TikTok and Instagram as well, and Facebook, but not in this sense. Do you know what I mean? It's not like my stream is like up there all the time. Like I am such a small little minnow surrounded by whales. Like, do you know what I mean? So I can only imagine the fucking, and like, part of me is like really appreciative of people like Owen who like deal with all that social crap, because like, if I ever do end up blowing up for some reason or going viral or some shit, like, man, the amount of people that are going to get ignored. The amount of people that are just going to get fucking ignored, like, do you know? Like, I don't care, do you know what I mean? I don't have as much empathy as somebody like Owen. Like, I'm not a nice guy in that regard. Like, I have empathy, I have compassion, you know, I'm not a dickhead, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not an evil person, but like, my life experience has been such that I now have fuck all patience for certain people. Like, you know, the gamma types, the fucking losers, gammas, parasites, all these, like, you know, the fucking just like weak people. The type of people who can't admit that they are their own worst enemy, and that if they change their behavior, their life will improve. you know, victim mentality, all that shit. Like, I just, nah, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm no, like, because I don't, like, I'm literally not capable of handling that. Like, I'll just snap and tell you to, like, go fuck yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I'm not above telling someone to fucking fuck off and eat shit and die. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, cause like that's one of the reasons why I used to talk a lot actually about the whole fucking, like, what do you do when you adhere to the rules of honor? You're an honorable person. You're a good person. You believe in the good, true, and beautiful, like, and all that. And you're surrounded by people that do and agree and blah blah. But then you collectively or individually come across a person or persons that are completely the opposite. No rules, no soul. You know, well, you can't really say that. Like, no rules, no integrity. Like complete hypocrites, like contradictory, paradoxical nature, like, do you know what I mean? Fucking pathological, you know? Nothing worse than a pathological man. Women are allowed to be pathological because it's how they're biologically designed. But a pathological man, fuck, so dangerous. So dangerous. Emmanuel's first. And Dick Ford was really pissed off about it. Stabberoo is back, doing Garlos's job again. Maxed out Barrow is having his morning coffee. Desmondu is here and ready to goo. Goo for me, goo for you. That's a good one, actually. The female has a iPhone by a boss. Yeah, like, it's so funny. Or I was always like, fucking hate iPhones. iPhones are terrible. They're fucking shit. Which they are. I fucking hate them. I fucking hate all the stuff. I find it very comparable to Microsoft, where it's all like in-house closed network kind of thing. Those closed network brands where it's like you need an iPhone charger for the iPhone and you need the iPhone this for, like, you know, like when they got when they got rid of a jack port on the iPhones for earphones or headphones, when they got rid of the jack, like, but I already hated them before that. I was always like, I fucking hate iPhones. Like, fuck, like, and not just iPhones, but like, I had a thing against smartphones because they're like bars of soap, and they do that intentionally. You know, they didn't. You didn't have to used to go buy a phone cover so that you could just hold your phone without like having a prison incident and getting flashbacks. Like, like, you fucking, like, they make them like a fucking, it's a glass bar of soap. Like, like, it's just a sheet of glass and plastic. You're there holding it awkwardly and all, and like the shape of it, no, it's stupid. Like, I would actually prefer a holographic interface on your forearm. As nerdy and Star Trekky as that is, I think that would be far more like practical to just like have a display cast onto your arm by a watch or something. I've seen stuff like that. Like, you know, we totally have that tech. We totally have the tech to like have a little band here, and it casts like it projects a light onto your forearm, and based on where your fingers, you know, like the thing can like detect where your fingers are. And depending on where the coordinates are and blah, blah, it just is like, oh, right, they're pressing this button or whatever, and it can display shit and all. Like, we have that tech. There's fucking 7-dimensional holograms in Dubai. Come on, people. Fuck's sake. Catch up. An Irishman rejecting his Guinness. I didn't reject it. That is preposterous, but I didn't reject it. I just didn't finish it. But that's how you know I felt like shit. I was sitting there, like, we were going to have dinner. Well, we did have dinner. We were ordering dinner when we were at the hotel there on Valentine's and all, like, and I was just sitting there like, do you know what I felt like? It felt like I was coming down off ecstasy, which is one of the things that makes me think that I'm just having caffeine withdrawals. Because I remember how like just like awful I felt coming down off of ecstasy tablets. Like, you'd have a fucking, like, I'd pop like 4 or 6 of them the night before and just be like up for fucking hours, like 9 o'clock the following morning, like, just like, watching movies on Sky TV, drinking tea, like, and then you'd eventually pass out and sleep for like the whole day, occasionally wake up, vomit, go back to sleep, pound a load of water because you're dehydrated, and then you get the bus home at some point, like, you know, and then fucking Oh man, the fucking just the body sensations, like you're nervous, and it makes sense. It's that chemical biological usury. Oh, like I don't know if Owen came up with that phrase, but he's the only one I've ever heard fucking coin or say or whatever. But biological usury is so true. It's like ecstasy is like, do you want to feel amazing, like right now for no reason other than like chemically? It's like, yeah. And then like yeah, and you do, you feel amazing. You're like, oh my god, why is everything a shade of purple? This is so awesome. And then when it's gone, your body's like, why did you do that? Like, all the bad feelings are here now. Like, my back hurts, my neck hurts, I have the sniffles, it's cold, I need a blanket. Like, and you're just like, oh god, I feel like shit. Like, it's like, no shit, you feel like shit. You just like spent all of your feel nice stuff. Oh, it's so funny. I love self-reflection because I like I apparently have a decent sense of humor because like I self-reflect on myself and I'm like, oh my god, I am a retard. Oh god, it's fucking hilarious. And like the amount of times where I've done something that's like seemingly wise or intelligent, or people are like, oh, like you're a really smart dude and all, like this makes it even funnier, like. Oh fuck. I know not what pragues him, but I pray on. I know not what pragues him, but he has my prayers nonetheless. I have a feeling something behind the scenes. Well, obviously it's something behind the scenes. If you didn't just like say it, do you know what I mean? I have a feeling it's something behind the scenes. Well, I doubt it was something he saw on Twitter and he was like, right, I'm just done now. No, it probably is fucking something like that. Like, I don't want to speculate because I don't want to fucking say it, and then people would be like, oh, well, Defender Bear said it's this. So, like, you know, because I just so happen to be on the internet saying stuff. I'm not going to speculate, but, like, yeah, I can only imagine that it's, like, something like that. Like, you know, fucking... He says all the time that, like, he doesn't say half the shit that's going on in the background because, like, it's just wild. And I completely believe him because I've experienced a minuscule amount of it myself, and it's fucking, it's the last thing anyone wants to deal with in life, is like absolutely pointless, needless drama. And it, like, sometimes it's not just drama, it ends up being like, you know, having to go to court over some shit, like, you know, and then it's like financial, and then it's like genuinely stressful for you and your family and all this shit. And these cunts don't care. They just want what they want. They desire satisfaction of their ego, and like that's how you, like, they don't give a fuck, you know, like, as far as they're concerned, Owen is like the bad man or like evil now, like, do you know what I mean? And they're like, it's so funny when you see like fucking the Bears are a cult, and then you watch the people, like the people who say that stuff, you observe their behavior for like 5 fucking minutes. You don't even need to, like, you know, watch them for a while to get a good, like, gauge in them or whatever. You watch them for, like, 5 fucking minutes, see another couple of comments from them in other places or on different subjects, and you're just like it makes perfect sense as to why they're saying that shit, because it's like only a vacated demon would be so weak and pathetic and bitchy and moany and fuck it. Like, the fact that you have men, like the way he was talking about the incel stuff, you have males being like, it's not fair. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I've felt like that in the past, like, do you know what I mean? But like, to the point where you actually like get on the internet and bitch about it. The only time I had enough of like a passion or like a fervor that I like typed a load of shit on a site one time was hilarious. The day after I did it, I was like, why did I do that? It's so pointless. Like, nothing is going to come of this. Like, I remember my friend, I think I told the story before, but like my best friend at the time was saying that there was this site that where people discuss stuff, and depending on like how many upvotes your thing gets, you could like earn money from it or something, which was cool because it's like, oh, well, this guy's making, you know, it's like literally giving monetary value to a subject matter.
so that it would get talked about more, or that was the idea behind it, not like, So I just wrote this big fucking, like, I don't know, maybe an A4 page worth, a few long paragraphs worth of, like, I'm just gonna say how it is. Like, all of us know that, like, not, like, I worded it so poorly. Like, it was something along the lines of, like, many of us, if not all of us, know that, like, there's so much of these problems are solved by simple solutions, but nobody's willing to do these things. No, like, if you're not willing to say something like nigger, like, in just a context that isn't, like, derogatory or whatever, you're just explaining something or whatever, like, and then they'd be like, but the word itself is derogatory. But it's like, but isn't that a utility then? Like, so you're saying we shouldn't have any words for bad people? Like, so what are you gonna get you're gonna get rid of the word villain? Like, what the fuck? Like, so, like, I basically just spoke honestly, which is, like, something I didn't see on the internet a lot of the time. Like, because you always see these people with, like, agendas and fucking opinions and shit. Like, I wasn't really coming from my opinion, Like, I consider my opinion sometimes as like, well, if I was in charge, I'd just fucking grab these people and hang them. Like, kind of like what Trump is doing now, where it's like, oh, we're just going to get rid of it. It's terrible. We're just going to get rid of it. Like, and they get rid of it, like, or they try to at least, or whatever, or they investigate, they do whatever, and people freak out. I'd be like your man in El Salvador, or like some shit, where I'd just be like, I'm in charge. Okay, you, and you come with me, and we're going to go here, and we're going to fucking, like, fuck a few flashbangs in windows and drag these cunts out and put them in the back of the van. Like, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna fuck them up. Like, we have all the guns, we got tanks, we got fucking, like, all this armored shit. Like, why do we have criminals, like, running fucking suburban areas? Like, let's just fuck them up. Like, we're supposed to be the good guys. Like, it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. So I can only imagine what kind of stress Owen is under right now. And, like, it's one of the reasons I respect him so much is because he goes, like, he says, oh yeah, it gets me sometimes, whatever, but, like, you just deal with it, like, he's dealing with it in such an honest and open way, and then as he's doing it, he's realizing how fucking bad it gets and how dark it can be and all, and how fucked up these people are, and then reassessing and then being like, god damn, like, maybe I should just, like maybe they should just take the vaccine. Like, which is just, it's so cathartic to watch someone go through it. That's one of the reasons why I used to not do PEINTEINGU, like, if I was in, like, a bad mood or something, because I didn't want to, like, spread the vibe or whatever. But, like, now I'm like, no, if I'm tired, if I'm hungry, if I feel like shit, I just do PEINTEINGU anyway, like, and it's the right thing to do, because sometimes your mood can, like, end up being hilarious. So I've, like, loads of respect for him for just, like, doing the shit and all, like. But, like, what, is he not doing a stream tonight or some shit? It'd be, like, I want to know now. I hope he's okay. Like, that's how the Bears are, like, a real community, is because most people would probably have my reaction. Oh shit, is he okay? Like, they wouldn't be like, I want to know. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, sure, like, part of me is curious. I'm like, oh, but I'm more concerned about if he's all right and if, like, him and the fam are okay. Like, I hope not. Like, the first thing I was like, oh shit, did somebody die? Is everybody okay? And then the second thing I thought of was like, oh, like, is the court case not going well, or, like, did they do some fucking legal fucking loophole shit and they're after, like, really fucking him up financially again or something, like, because I wouldn't be surprised. Like, there's people out there that fucking hate him, I mean, you have monsters that hate you, like, do you know what I mean? You're gonna have problems, like, which is just, like, that guy deserves so much fucking, praise and respect for that, like, because, like, he didn't have to do any of it, like, do you know what I mean? He didn't have to do any of it. Like, he could have just been a fucking sellout cook like the rest of them, like, but he chose not to be. Like, he chose to, like, he chose to be a Jedi instead of a Sith. And, like, I think, like, for me, like, I know there's loads of people out there that think the same way I do about that particular moment in time over the last few years, where it's like, if you were a fan of comedy and you were watching what was going on, like, you didn't even need to be a fan of comedy, really. Like, if you were, like, into geopolitics or free speech or any of that shit, like, and he's seen what happened to Owen and the stuff that was going on before it and all. Like, it's just, like I said it before, I think it's crazy that like, you know, it's mainly just Owen, you know. Like, sure, you got people like Tom Burnett and Chris Gardner and like, was it I always forget all of these names of people that, like, I've seen people like Chris Gardner, Tom Barnett, and Owen, like, talk to over the years. Like, I think it was what's that dude? I'm on his Telegram. I follow his Telegram. Clive Charles, what's his fucking name? Big medicine dude. He does his own, like, supplements and shit. Oh, I can't use Telegram on the phone. Fuck's sake. Is it Clive DeCarl? Yeah, Clive DeCarl. I remember, like, I've only ever seen like one interview with him and shit, and I don't even use the supplements, but like, I just remember being like so set at ease where I was like, okay, no, there are some people out there like who know their shit and like they have honor, you know. Because there was a point where I was like, oh my god, like, is it all gone? Like, is the place just gonna go to shit? Are we actually gonna see like a Mad Max style like total collapse where like most people are animals, and like if you come across a person with even like a sliver of honor and humanity, it's gonna be like a really rare thing, you know? But no, I think it's like, I think America's starting to, like, I think America over the next couple of years will, like, you know, recover from all this woke bollocks. And then I think, like, some place like here, like in Ireland, I think we're going to get a little bit worse before we get better. I think because we only legalized abortion there a while ago. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, I think we have another, like, I'm being generous here, maybe. At least another like 8 years of like crazy fucking shit before the Irish are like, alright, here, like, I'm fucking sick of this shit. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it happens quicker. Part of me thinks it might happen quicker because we're an island, you know, and America's like, you know, a continental nation and shit, like, where it's like, with the whole way that ripples work and how fast things change, especially these days, there's a chance that Ireland could like de-wokeify itself in like 2 years. But I just don't see that happening right now. Like, do you know what I mean? Because like our whole government seemingly is like we don't have a thing where it's like, oh, we just need to get like that dude back in. Like you guys with Trump. It's like, oh, come on, Trump. Like, do you know, it's like we don't have anyone that like, people look to Conor McGregor. Like, that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is that like people, like, I've said it. I've been like, well, like, you know, if it is Conor tweeting that, which I doubt it is, but like, it's better than nothing, you know. Not by much, but it's better than nothing. Like, at least somebody's saying some real shit. Like, we don't have any politicians really that are like, you know, saying it exactly how it is. Like, we need to fucking make abortion illegal again. Like, that was a stupid move. We need to get out of the Paris Accords or whatever, like the Lisbon Treaty. We need to remove ourselves from the EU. Ireland needs to be totally sovereign again. Like, you know what I mean? We need to unify with the North. You know, like, fucking, I'm sure there'd be loads of fucking bureaucracy and paperwork and fucking debating over that shit as well. Like, but it's like, I'd love to see a situation where like Ireland had a dictator, like a king. We need an Irish king. Like, that's what we need. Like, just some dude who's just like, I'm in control now for at least the next 12 years. So shut up, sit back, strap in, and enjoy the ride. Like, oh, fucking hell. Like, I'd give it a go. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it was like a lottery or something and I won, I'd be like, ha, no way, right. I'm going to put a load of turrets on the coast. That's one of the first things I'm going to do. Because it'll help us, like, it'll help us fucking keep all the fucking shit out. I'm just going to put huge guns all over the fucking coastline of Ireland. Massive 150mm cannons with like fed by underground fucking like, you know, so the thing is like never has to be reloaded. It's just belt fed from this like huge underground depot. Like I'd put like 500 of them all around the coastline, and because like it's not like we can have, like Ireland's small and it's got a small population, so it's not like we can have like a huge presence like internationally. So I'd turtle up if I was Ireland. If I was in charge, I'd turtle up. I'd make it really risk reward inefficient. I would make it way too costly to attack Ireland for any reason. You know, physically, it'd just be there's no point. You're just gonna get hit with so much shit from like far away that by the time you even got to the island, like it just you'd just be hit with so much lead. Like, I'd turn the whole island into like a massive fucking like swivel gun defense turtle thing. Yeah, Clive is solid, is he? Yeah, met some real legends in his circles over the years. I said, like, I'm not like a social person. Like, even when I like in the bear community, like I kind of just keep to myself and shit, like, you know. But like, part of me I've wanted to like meet some people in Vox's crowd, and crowds like that, like Clive DeCar or Tom Barnett's crowd and stuff like that. Like, because I love meeting people, I do. But like I don't really like how social media works, and like it's all through text and shit. Like when I was the Telegram Legends chat, a few of you guys are in it. We went through this phase of video chatting, where like, and I think I kind of spurred on a lot of it, where like every message I was putting in the Legends chat was just my face. You know, I was just like, this is what I think, blah 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 blah. Right, see you later. And then like, or if something made me laugh, I'd immediately hit record, and I'd just be laughing at the screen, like, because I like live, I like real, I like in the moment, like, do you know what I mean? Like, everybody does. That's why Live Leak was so, you know, insane, because it's like, this only happened a few minutes ago. It was caught on somebody's phone and it's been uploaded, and it's like raw, unedited footage of someone being murdered. Like, you know, it's like as far as fucked up and horrible as it is. Like it's like if you're like the Jewy fucking demonic marketing type, you're the type to be like, sex sells. You know, people like to fuck. You know, people like to kill. They want to watch people getting killed and all. Like, and it's unfortunately true. You know. But that's why I like the idea of stories and entertainment and media and consuming media that is honest and at least attempts to be moral. Because violence isn't wholly bad. Sex isn't wholly bad. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like the nigger thing. It's like, what are you going to do? Get rid of definitions for fucked up behavior? Like thievery and like gang shit and not showing up to work on time, like ever, stealing from work, you know, shit like that. It's like, that's a nigger, you know. It's describing a behavior. It's the same with like a villain and shit. Like, so that's just illogical to get rid of shit like that. Like, it's just like it's so stupid. And I find stupid stuff, like, a lot of the time, that's what frustrates me the most. And the female would probably fucking be able to, like, anecdotally fucking, you know, back me up on this. Like, the amount of times where, like, I've gotten really fucking angry really quickly because something just doesn't make sense. It's like, why? Like, what? Like, do you know, and that's obviously, like, something that I have to deal with. Like, I've had to deal with it over the years, where, like, I try not to let things frustrate me. But it's, like, even more frustrating when you know it's like, it doesn't have to be that way, and if anything, you get the sense that it's made that way on purpose to frustrate you, which is just fucking malevolent. Throbbing thing, phrasing. Giggity. Oh god. The Irish forearm is deaf white enough to reflect as a projection screen. Yeah, definitely. Hey, look at that shit. I could watch fucking HD movies on my fucking transparent fucking. I literally look like fucking slightly off milk sometimes. But it's, like, how funny is it, right? When I turn my arm over, it like instantly changes like shade and shit because of all the freckles. It's so funny. Sometimes I forget I have freckles. It's weird. Freckles are odd. Like, why are they called freckles? Fortress Ireland sounds badass. How cool would that be? How fucking cool would that be? Like, do you know what I mean? England, like you'd have memes of like, England beside Ireland, just with the eyes, you know, the side eye. I'd be like, oh, like. It's the British Isle just looking at Ireland, just being like, all right, relax. Like, all these fucking guns all over it. Like, oh, it'd be fucking class. It'd be like, if you want to come into our airspace, if you want to come into our sea space, or if you want to come into our physical space, it's going to cost you so much. It'll cost you so much. That's how I would strategize it. Like, because it suits how big our population is and how big our island is. Because that's how you would like I'm thinking of how an animal, like a puffer fish. Do you know what I mean? Like how small animals protect themselves from larger predators. Typically is like, you know, something like that. It's like they're kind of OP in one area, you know. They're like they're highly toxic or venomous, or they're spiky, or like you know, they can emit some sort of gaseous cloud, or like something like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, whereas the bear is just fucking massive and has claws, and so is the lion, and so on and so forth. Like, so like if Russia's the bear and America's the fucking eagle and whatever, like Ireland would literally, I'd make us out to be the, you know, the gentle turtle that you just kind of don't want to fuck with. Like, you know, like. Oh, now I'm thinking of my tactical turtles. Just the whole idea of like turtles with warfare gear on their shells and all is, I love that. Like, turtles walking around with cannons on their backs and all, like, in little fucking like helmets and shit. Like, I need to get back into that. I'm putting all of my focus into just making sure I do Paintingu Monday to Friday, and I'm working on the symmetrical in the kitchen now. I really like. I was like already taking ages to do that in the first place. And then I fucking had a bitch fit and smashed the fucking thing. And what did I do? I bought a canvas twice the size of the original one. I was like, not only am I going to do it and finish it, I'm going to do it bigger. And it's been like fucking weeks. Oh, I fucked myself over. So, like, you know the way people talk about like that shit where it's like, be good to yourself. Like, do something today that you tomorrow will be like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. And like, I fucking never do shit like that. Like, amount of times I come down in the morning and I look at the kitchen and I'm like, ugh. Amount of times I fucking come into the Paintingu room and I'm like, ugh. like the symmetrical was just sitting in the sitting room on the sofa, because that's the only place I could put it for the time being, because we were like rearranging a load of shit and all, like, and oh god, it's so fucking stupid sometimes. Like I haven't finished the tactical turtles thing, like, do you know. Oh, I did one t-shirt and I was like, right, got the first one done, and then like that day I think I like redid the moose head on a canvas and I haven't touched that since. I'm so scattered. Like, I said this before, like I said this before, that like I have to discipline my creative energy. I really do, like, you know, because like I am just this, like, I'm like a conduit for like fucking it just fucking flows out of me like a fucking tap. You could do this and you could have these, and like you could do, like, you know, turtles and guns, birds, secret agency, they all have funny names, fucking like bloom, 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 bloom. I could just go all day, like make them, draw them, whatever. But actually refining it into a routine business product, like I'm a professional artist, creator, streamer, do all this shit. It is fucking hard to do it on your own, especially when you're somebody like me who has like no fucking training and experience in most of these fields. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you could definitely describe me as like, what an arrogant fool, but it's like, I'm not though. I'm definitely a bit cocky, but I'm like, I just have faith and I'm whimsical. Like, you know, and it works. Like, do you know what I mean? It does work. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just like, you know, like if I existed in a different time, I wouldn't be worried about making more money. It's just because of the time we live in. It's like money's currency is kind of a, it's a it's like it's a not rare. What's it like? It's a unstable resource is money these days. You know, one day something costs this much, the next day it costs this much. One day you can get 10 of these, the next day you can only get 5. One day there's bread, next day there isn't. Like, you know, it's like, so it doesn't even matter if you have the money. You know, like if it was a, like the amount of us guys, like the type of guys we are, would be totally okay just like in a village of about 100 people. You know, we'd just be an artist or a blacksmith or a potter or a fucking like, or all three. You know, horseshoe maker, fucking all sorts of shit, like, you know. But these days it's like, you could, like, I live in a small town, but like most of the people here, like, you know, they're all the jobs, well, not all the jobs, but like most of the jobs are grocery stores, shops. You got like Aldi, Lidl, Super Value, Tesco, Mr. Price, Dunnes Stores. There's loads of them, and they all do the same thing. You know, there's like 6 barbers. There's like 6 pubs. There's like 2 or 3 bookies. Do you know what I mean? But like and there's like a few clothing shops and stuff like that, and there's a few paint shops, a few DIY shops. But like the amount of shit that's closed down, and it's just so depressing. It's so unfortunate to see like such a lovely town suffering the effects of like fast-paced, mass-produced capitalism, you know. And it would just be so much more beautiful, and people would be so much more happy if like the focus was on the people in the town making money with each other and off of each other and like from each other. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of closed circuit thing where it shouldn't be like, it shouldn't be like, you know, the way it's gone. I seriously, like, I have a like call me fucking weird or whatever. I'm a bit woo woo sometimes, but like, I think one of the psyop tricks behind autism is like this is why I love wordplay. When somebody says like, "Oh, he's autistic," well, they say that autistic people are rules based. You know, oh, it has to be this way. It has to be this way. It's like, but isn't that what ought? If something ought to be a particular way, you know, AUGHT, isn't that how it's spelled? You ought not to do that, sir. You know, why I oughta. You know, that's not a very American thing. Why I oughta. What should be done? What ought be done? What is proper? What are the rules? You know. And its connotation is that, like, you know, oh, you have all these autistic kids, these autistic people now. And like, I agree with Vox and his crowd and all. Like, I'm telling you now that they've poisoned us with vaccines and got vitamin shots and God knows what else. And then described our ailments as something else so that they can give us more ailments with supposed medicine. It's like, oh, your kid has ADHD. Now he needs to fucking take these pills, you know, like, and a couple of years later, oh, it turns out he's autistic too. Like, a couple of years later, oh, it turns out he's got like a fucking, you know, autoimmune disease. Like, a couple of years later, oh, it's really unfortunate. He's got fucking lymphoma or some shit. Like, you know, like, turns out he's got a super rare fucking genetic deficiency. Like, yeah, sure. I'm sure he just had all of that. Like, you know, like, oh, so fucking stupid. Really fucking annoys me. They're so fucking frustrated. But that is why it's important to always remember to just shake it off, play some tunes, and make something. I seen this Indian lad on YouTube. He's huge on YouTube. He's got all these videos and stuff. And he had a video. It's like, why you shouldn't vent. I was like, what a fool. What a fool. Why is that unavailable? Oh, excuse me. Why is that unavailable? Do I have to reload the playlist or something? What is this? I found new tunes and now I can't play the tune. That's fucking bullshit. YouTube's fucking me right in the ass. Where's this shit? Please tell me I just had to reset it. 'Cause I found decent tunes. There! Yeah, grand. I figured that would be the problem. I love it when I'm right. Most of the time. Right. Some 80s synthy shit. Oh, fuck. This is like seriously my vibe. I know metal is my vibe too, but like there's something about this playing video games and like eating burgers and fries, like it's a vibe. Okay. Still some work to do on the Squidopus Recus Bridges. Squidopus Recus Bridges the third. I stick some, they give him green eyes, just some more shading back here. Change the colour. And then, I don't know, we'll throw some extra details in. I'll try and finish this one today. Start a new one tomorrow. What day is tomorrow? Wednesday? There probably won't be a PEINTEINGU this Friday, because I'm doing Hanging with Bears at like midnight Thursday with Stunt, or at least I'm supposed to be. We'll see what happens. Did say the 20th, I think. Yeah, which is this Thursday. So there might not be a PEINTEINGU Friday. I'll see how I am. I might have enough energy. I might get to bed on time. But me and him usually stay up till like 4 in the fucking morning talking. So I'll see how I am. But I'm looking forward to that. I always love talking on that nigga. Stuntman's a real one. He's a funny fucker. Like Stuntman's the type of cunt like grungy. You know, it was one of the major issues that I had with my old friend group, was that they weren't the type that you could just like rip the piss out of each other, like really bust each other's balls. They had an ego, you know, and like just ruined everything. Don't let your ego ruin shit. Don't take yourself too seriously, you know. That's what I think is funny, where like Owen's like, most people, you know, one of their greatest fears is like public speaking and stuff. I really didn't know that. I didn't know how prevalent that was with most people. But then like slowly over the years, and then big style with COVID, I really did realize, I was like, Jesus, most people are cowards. Like straight up like cowards. Whatever about being like weak and, you know, fucking, you know, addicted, or like fucking, I don't know, weak, stupid, all these things, like, but just not having like no bravery. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm the fucking courageous person. Like, people would probably describe me as like, you know, and I would probably turn around to those people and be like, oh, would you stop? Like, it's like, because I am the type of person to just do shit, like, do you know what I mean? And people have been like, oh Jesus, you're mad, like, I wouldn't be able to do that, like, but it's like, you would be able to do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And that works for, like, pretty much everything. Don't get me wrong, there are some things where it's like, you know, okay, not everyone can be like Usain Bolt. But you could definitely try, and you'd probably get like somewhere within, do you know what I mean? Like you could definitely say that if you tried to be like Usain Bolt, that you would end up getting really, 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 really fast at running. You know, isn't that good enough? Like, I don't know if I ever will be, or nor do I necessarily desire to be as good as like Da Vinci or like some modern artist, like fuck it, what's that guy named? Justin Bua. He's really good. Like Pinstripe Chris on Instagram. Like, I don't necessarily think I'm that far off being that good one of these days, but like, that's not what I'm after. You know, what I'm after is like kind of like a satisfaction of like, I'm not after being like a master, which maybe I should be like, you know, seeking to be it. But right now, like, all I want to do is stuff that's good enough that people enjoy it. Because it's not just about how good it looks. It's the why, you know. Why did you paint a wallet throwing money off of a bridge? Because an old lady from Tennessee told me to, and it was a great idea. That's why. And it looks cute, and it's funny. You know? Why is there a lot of bricks on a barge playing musical instruments like they're in an orchestra going under an English bridge? Because I pulled it out of a hat and it's awesome. Just cause. Just fucking do it because it's good. Like, you know? And then inexorably shit happens because of that, like, you know? And sure, somebody in my instance, like, situation where it's like, yeah, but you're not making a lot of money. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't really matter right now, you know? If I really, really needed to make, like, a lot of money, like, right now, trust me, like, I'd be doing something different. But there's something about knowing you have that feeling of, like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do. You know? Like, I don't have to bust my ass to, you know, like doing 2 jobs or some shit like that, or get a shitty paying job that like has long hours or something to like support my female. My female doesn't even need me. She's totally fucking financially sufficient on her own, like. So it's like I'm blessed to be in a position where I'm trying to like become something she doesn't even need, but something she wants. You know, something I know that would be good for her. You know, so that she doesn't have to do what she's doing, like. But even saying that, it's like, it's not like she necessarily minds doing what she does. Sometimes she loves it. You know, she likes having her own money. She likes having work friends that she goes out drinking with, like, you know. It is funny once you see a lot of people, like, you know, us being like, things need to change and they need to be like this and like blah blah, like, you know, and then you're somebody like me who genuinely does believe all that and feel that way about so many things. But because I'm in love with someone who's very normal, like way more normal than me, she still think, you know, like stuff like the trans stuff and the gay stuff, it's like, oh, like, you know, that's wrong, and like, you know, they shouldn't be doing that with kids. And like, there's like on a fundamentally moral level, like we share the same values in a lot of ways, like, which is why I think it fundamentally has worked for so long, because we agree on like the fundamentals. But when it comes to everything else, it's like she, like, I do basically serve her the best by being just the best version of me, you know. And when I do that, I make money, you know. And I haven't been doing that the last while. I've still made money. Like, you guys have been so generous and loyal and shit like that over the last months and all. Like, it's one of the reasons I keep doing this. But like, I have let myself down and her down a bit in the last while, because I'm not like really pushing it. Got too comfortable, you know. Being like, oh, PEINTEINGU's going well, and like, fucking people like it and all, and oh look, I sold another painting and blah blah blah. But it's like, been what? Is it over a year now? Or I think it's been over a year since I sold. Yeah, it's been over a year since I sold the symmetrical. And I think that's why it's taking me so long to finish this one, because if I finish this one and it doesn't sell, there's going to be a part of me that's like, oh, I've lost it. But it's not true. I just need to get back in the flow. I think that's one of the reasons I love music like this, Because, like, I listened to a lot of this shit when I first started painting. And it just gave me that vibe of, like, just almost like going down the good version of a rabbit hole. You know, you're going on an adventure, see what happens. I'm gonna get up every day and I'm gonna paint these fucking symmetrical things and I'm gonna see what happens. And people bought them. Like, seriously, when people start buying the shit, I was just like, I've told that story probably a couple of times where, like, I just started bawling my eyes out crying and went down to my ma. I don't want to fight anymore. I can do this. It's fucking like, it's like something out of a movie or something, like, you know. It's so funny, like. I like the look on her face and all, like, cause like she wasn't expecting it at all, like, you know, who would, like. I just randomly come down and I'm like, I don't want to do this shit anymore, like. I can't remember how long it had been after, like, you know, cause like she tried to get me, like, kicked out of the house and all, and like there was like some mad shit where, like, she, you know, she like slapped my sister and then slapped me and then I slapped her and then she tried to bring me to court and the judge was like, you're a fucking terrible person, and like was on my side and all, like, and because she was chewing gum in the courtroom, the judge was like, you fucking bitch. Like, me ma had to learn a lot of life lessons, and she did, and she's like, she's doing well now. She's in a good relationship, and me and her have a good relationship, and it's all fine now. It's all G, like. But like, fuck, the shit that can happen when shit gets bad, like, you know, like, it was so wild, like. And I think because I've been in those situations that I know that, like, I have personal experience in like a highly emotionally driven situation where I know that, like, people who end up in, like, you know, physical confrontations and stuff like that, and now, like, there is something to be said of the whole mutual combat law shit, like, that America still has, where it's like, let people fight it out. Let them fight it out, you know? You don't have to be like, oh no, shit's gonna kick off. I think that's what the Irish have, that is like, no, let it kick off. Let it kick off. Let it happen. It's supposed to happen, you know? It's like what I was talking about yesterday. It's like, where if you suppress a part of us that, like, we were designed with. We're designed to, like, you wouldn't get angry, you wouldn't get sad, you wouldn't get envious, you wouldn't get horny, you wouldn't get hungry if you weren't designed that way. There's a reason all those things exist. But, like, obviously there's a good way to interpret them and then act accordingly, and then a bad way to interpret them and act accordingly. I.e., like, you know, you could be angry and then do something totally unnecessary and horrible because you're angry, or you could be angry and then use that as a motivation to do something incredibly good, you know? You could be really fucking, you know, horny and do something fucking horrible, or you could be really horny and then, like, it ends up making a baby. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, people look at the world, like, I used to do, to a point, not always, I've always been kind of like this, but now I'm, like, really like this, because I allowed the world to, like, you know, stupefy me with all this just overwhelming shit, propaganda and stuff, like. But I've always kind of been like this, where it's like, you know, just like yin yang balance, fucking, like I'm naturally really in tune with whatever the fuck this place is, and I can feel it. And I know there's loads of people out there like me that, like, you can feel it. You can feel that, like, there is magic here, or what we describe as magic. There is magic here. It surrounds you all the time. It's there in the background, whispering, like, all the fucking time, like. And it's up to you to, like, have faith in that and enjoy it and, like, believe in it and believe in people that are good and true and beautiful and have honor and all this shit, like. And it's up to you to battle the demons and not let all this fucking crap get in your head and fucking, you know, make you like doubt, fear and doubt. That's the big one. That's why I like the Dune movies. Like, the fucking fear is the mind killer. It's such good rhetoric. Like, all of this bedivilment, all of this demonic shit. Fundamentally, what I think is it is designed to do is make you doubt and have fear that the stuff like that you intrinsically like think and have faith in and like have love for, and you're like, oh yeah, life is like that inner child in you, like, you know. That's all it's designed to do. It's designed to make you doubt, designed to make you afraid, designed to make you be skeptical of like you know, imagine you were a dog and like your whole life you get told that barking is bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so some owners do that to their dogs. Like, you know, anytime the dog barks, it's like, shut up. It's like, it's a dog. It's supposed to bark. You know, sure, you can discipline it to only bark when, you know, you need it to bark, which is a bit fucked up. But like even when it comes to shit like that, like I can imagine people would think that when they first meet me, like, I'm, you know, fairly normal in most ways, but I'm a bit weird. But like the opinions I have on certain things are actually quite like, you could easily describe them as like, you know, like hippy dippy-ish, like, do you know what I mean? Like when people get their fucking animals like neutered and stuff, I'm like, that's crazy. The poor animal, like, yeah, well, I don't want it like breeding. It's like, are you serious? Like the idea of having a pet in itself, I mean, cages and leads and all this shit. It's like, if the thing doesn't want to follow you around, you're gonna make it follow you around? Like, you're gonna train it to follow you around by tying something around its neck? Like, you know, like, fucking, like, come here, boy! Like, it's like, that's not a companion, that's a slave. Like, do you know what I mean? It's weird, man. Like, it's weird the way, like, humans behave. And then, like, you know, like, people like me be like, humans are so weird. It's like, dude, you're human. Yeah, but am I though? Like, I'm starting to fucking, like, part of me is like, I don't know, maybe I am actually a demigod or some shit, like, cause like, I'm not like that lot. Like, I was watching Attack on Titan last night, trying to force myself to fucking just get through it. Not because I'm not enjoying it. It's just, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of information. There's so much information in that show. You know when they have their little loading screens in between certain segments of the of that show, where they'll just like put a load of information up on the screen, like describing a term or an enemy type or some shit in it. It's like, this is what this is, this is what this is, this was made in this year and all, and it comes up and then it's gone in like 3 seconds. It doesn't even give you enough time to read the fucking thing, like, you know. And I'm never arsed, so I never pause it, like. But like, Attack on Titan is really like every episode is like fucking what, 25, 28 minutes long or some shit. But it's just like info dump, info dump, info dump, action scene, info dump, like. And it's cool. It's fascinating. It's really well animated for the most part. Some of the proportions are way off, but like, I'm sure there's a reason for that, like. But it's just so like I'll watch 3 or 4 episodes, and then when I take the headphones off, I'm like, Jesus! Like, that was a roller coaster ride. Really good anime though. Really good anime. Fascinating. And yeah, I would not be surprised if a lot of the stuff in Attack on Titan is very close to our actual history. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I think it's funny that there's people out there that, like, you know, like, I thought it was so funny when I was listening to Owen there the other day, and he was talking about your man, Dr. Grande. Was it Todd Grande or some shit? Thinks that anyone who questions the moon landing is, like, you know, has like mental issues or some shit, like. Oh, excuse me. It's always hilarious to me how, like, you can come across people who seem so in the know and so intelligent, and then at the same time they seem so ignorant and stupid. But like, somebody could easily say something. Somebody could easily say that about me. You know, some of the things I've said, some of the like ways I've described things, or like if I use like an analogy, or if like the way I dive into a subject or something, like people have been like, man, I love your vibe, I love the way you think, you know, like blah blah. And then I'd say something else, and people would be like, what a bellend. Like, because like, I'd be in the middle of saying something sometimes, and I'm like, Jesus, I'm probably totally wrong. Like, I think that's the way to be, though. Like, do you know what I mean? Just speak your mind, but like, pay attention to yourself. So like, listen to what you're saying as you're saying it, like, and as you're thinking it, and assess it as you're doing it. Which I suppose, yeah, maybe people just don't have the. Could you train people to do that, or maybe like, is it just? It's like somebody not being able to juggle. Like, I can't fucking juggle. I could probably learn how to juggle, but like, they just don't have the capacity. Like, fucking, sounds like something Gardner would say. Is that they just literally don't have the capacitance to do self-assessment on the fly, so that you could catch yourself saying a sentence and being like, oh, that doesn't really make sense because of what I just said. So, I don't know, like, it's like, it's just funny now for me coming to the realization that like I used to think people were stupid just because they didn't have information. You know what I mean? It's like the only reason somebody is stupid is because they're not educated, in quotes. You know? That's what stupid is like essentially ignorant. But it's not, though. Stupidity is dictated by like processing capability. Your ability to comprehend and understand and work with and develop upon and like create with complex and sophisticated like stimulus and data points and materials. And like even the sentence I just said, there'd be people out there that are like, what the fuck did he just say? And I know they would, like, to be people in fucking, like, you know, there's a place called Ballyfermot in Dublin. And it's like, it's known for being, like, kind of a scummy area, like, but, like, that's where a lot of my friends were from. And there is loads of scum, but there's also loads of, like, absolute fucking legends. It's like any place that's kind of ghettoized, you know, like, lower economic, families and stuff like that, like, lower economic class. You get some really cool people. It's a fucking nutcases. But yeah, there's a lot of scumbags. But I can imagine one of those, like, fucking just like schwa. We call them schwas. We used to anyway. Alright, yeah, fucking euro. Fucking. The Dublin scumbag really is just like, oh, there we go. Just like Emmanuel is like, Dublin scumbags are like, they're their own thing. They're like they're a particular breed of scumbag, aren't they? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, because like you could meet a Dubliner and they sound the way they sound, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm from Dublin, yeah, I'm fucking, you know. Like, a lot of the stuff I sound still kind of sounds like you could tell I'm from Dublin. But then you meet a scumbag from Dublin, like a junkie, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, they all sound the same. They all have that, like, like, you're fucking scumbag. Like, and they call other people scumbags. You fucking scummy bastard. Like, oh man, Irish people are hilarious. I love being Irish. There's like such like fucking like glaring contradictions in our fucking culture. It's so funny, like. Oh, I'm trying to color match this bitch now. Close. Needs more red. A little bit more blue and a little bit more red. Sure, I really appreciated that comment you made there the other day, Emmanuel, where you were like, "This is some epic waffle." Because sometimes I do still get a bit worried that people are just listening to me and like I just become background noise, and they're just like, "Yeah, just let them talk." I'm here for the tunes, which I don't mind. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you know. I'm not here to be listened to, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm here to, like, give you something to think about. I'm here to entertain you. I'm here to, like, make you laugh, like, fucking think about shit and stuff like that, like, or share my opinion on things, like. But, like, I mean, the fact that it's a painting fucking show, and, like, loads of people don't watch me, they just listen to me, like, I fucking love that, like. That's so funny. I'm like Owen in that regard. If something makes me laugh, it gets a pass. Yeah. Like I do have a very dark sense of humor. Like I shared this hilarious fucking. That's not true. The female shared it with me so I could share it because I asked her to, so I could share it with my sister. There's this really funny animation of this, like, I think it's like a little cat thing or something. It's like a play on that song where it's like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Do 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 do. Fucking. And it's like, what doesn't kill you gives you trauma, but you get that kick-ass dark humor. And it's just this like cartoon kitten like folding clothes or something. Like, it's really funny. Like, it's so relatable. Like, cause I sent it to my sister. Like, she's like, pissed herself laughing. Like, what doesn't kill you gives you trauma. Like, it's so true. Like, it's so fucking true. Like, I think like you either develop dark humor or you become gay, and that's why Milo Yiannopoulos is like so fucking funny. Cause he went full on gay, like. But is still fucking hilarious, and now he's not gay anymore. Well, allegedly not gay anymore. Like, that's what's so funny about the whole like people that hear me talk and it'd be like, "Oh, you just like hate gay people." It's like, no, I mean, like, not at all. I love Milo Yiannopoulos. I think he's so funny. Like, but it's just be real about it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna be a demon, be a demon. Just don't fucking. I just hate liars. Liars, hypocrites. I know we can all be hypocrites, you know, fucking to a degree. But I always just remember that like there's like a famous Irish person. I think it might have been Padraig Pearse. I'm not sure, but it might have been some poet. But he was like something along the lines of like liars, hypocrites, grifters, philanderers. Like, he just lists them all off or whatever. And he's like, these are the people who, like, we need to fucking deal with. Like, do you know what I mean? These are the people that wreck everything. Is like liars, hypocrites, you know, disingenuous fucking philandering scumbags. And I know ultimately, like, the meta level isn't, you know, pull all the scumbags in prison. It's a good start. I know the meta is fucking. It is within you, you know. The change is within you. You need to become stronger, become more resistant to things. Stronger, faster, smarter. Wasn't that like Daft Punk? Painting, goo, 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 goo. Painting, goo, 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 goo. Are we liking the 80s vibe? And there's no ads. No ads. 80s vibe. This nigga's gonna pop when I give him them green eyes. I love the way the paint sounds. Nah, man, you are leveling up all the time. Appreciate it. Really appreciate you posting to IG so I can see in detail you are improving with every go. Yeah, I was quite proud of the Transformer one and the werewolf in the Onion Copter one. I think some of the recent goos have been pretty stellar, comparatively. Obviously, they're still like, you know, childish musings in lots of ways. But I did say it to the female. Like, I had a look at what was the one that made me say it? The monkey having a shower with the spaceship in the background and the waterfall and all. I had a look at that when I was putting it in the book after taking the photos, and I was like looking at the old ones and comparing it, and I was just like, shit. I mean, I'm only doing this like 2 years or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if I keep this shit going, like, could you imagine what a painting goo can look like in 10 years? Like, do you know what I mean? This shit be fucking like selling them for $1,000 a piece, like. And you guys will all be fucking lucky, because like by then I'll give them to you for like still like 50 quid or something, like, you know what I mean? Like really piss people off. Like, how come the gold members get the paintings for like fuck all money? Because they're gold members, bitch. Like, I like the idea of like private membership clubs and shit like that. Like, when I went over to France and stayed with Juju, and I sat down and I had a couple of conversations with her father. Seriously, some of the most interesting fucking conversations I've ever had with a fucking human being ever was speaking to a like 80-year-old former army, like I think he was in the Air Force. He's the treasury in the Mason Lodge in Texas, I think. So he's from Texas. He's like 80. So he grew up in like the fucking 1940s or whatever, like, and like, you know, really cool accent, like fucking like some of the things he was saying, like, you know, talking about back in the Air Force, you know, like fucking just listening. I did listen to him talk for. I could literally listen to that chap all day just talking about shit, like so fucking cool. But when he was talking about the Mason stuff, I didn't know that like a prerequisite. I'm spitting tea all over the place because it's stuck in my mustache. I didn't know that a prerequisite to being a Mason was that you must believe in a higher power. I didn't know that was the thing. And like when he said that to me, I was like, that's fucking really interesting, because like that to me shows that the Masons were like, we don't want anyone of this ilk. How are we gonna separate, you know, the people we want from the people we don't want? And I think that's a really good metric to judge people on. Because, like, sure, you can argue later over what deity or what god and why and what the deity is, you know, about and all that shit and so on and so forth. But, like, it's definitely a good starting point to be like, okay, do you at least believe in the possibility of the existence of like some kind of higher power? You know, because I was never an atheist. Anytime somebody asked me, I was always like, what's that one called? Agnostic? I just don't know. Like, you know, I believe in shit, like, you know, just don't know what I believe in. I've always been kind of partial to that bit of, like, I don't know if I made it up or if I got it from somewhere, but like the whole, when people are like, you know, saying like, yeah, fear God only and all that shit, like, I don't fear God, or I don't fear the gods. I have faith in them. I trust them. And that was a major change in my life. In and around the, like, when I just before or when I started watching Owen, it was like, it's a choice. It's like the Matrix. It's like you choose. It's like, are you going to believe or are you going to not believe? What you believe in is like another choice altogether. Like you choose, but like there is a choice before. No, do I believe in Kali? Do I believe in Buddha? Do I believe in Jesus? It's like, yeah, but do you believe? Are you a believer? You know, because that's like a big fundamental separation between like most of us. Is like there are people who believe and there are people who do not believe, and I think the people who do not believe are tantamount to like, you know, sheep or animals or like, you know, like cattle, prey. You know, ultimately, like as much as like it might sound a bit mad, but I think it's incredibly true. Our society is essentially constructed around predator-prey. You know, sure, it could be marketing tactics and all this fucking shit and slow death and blah blah, but it's predator-prey. You know, and there's an overwhelming amount of prey now. That's like, I think that's a good way to look at it now, where it's like, instead of being like, oh, there's so many sheep and like, you know, making people out to be like the herd mentality, which they are in a lot of ways, but it's like, that's how I look at it. Is like, I look at it predator prey. You have predators and you have prey. Do not be prey. Be a predator. You know, and then the connotation is like, oh, you want to feed on other people? Is like, no, I feed on demons. I slay demons, bitch. I slay my own demons. I slay the demons that come for me, because like I don't feed on others. Like, you know, because like you don't need to go anywhere. They'll come for you in your dreams, in everyday vibes and shit. Like parasites and demons, they fucking come for you. Like, you know, especially when you start changing and you start emanating joy and you start doing some cool shit. They show up and they get in your head and they're like, make you doubt, make you fear, tempt you and all this fucking shit. Like, and you can argue, sure, that it's just like aspects of your own mind or whatever like that, like, but definitely feels like an invader, you know? It doesn't make any, like, what, like, are we all like fucking bipolar then? Because it doesn't make any sense that part of me would want me dead, you know? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Yes, good vibes. Excellent. Yes, sir. Thirst for knowledge. Real knowledge. Knowledge is power. I wouldn't use that kind of, like, I wouldn't phrase it like that, though. And I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, as I'm reading it, I'm like, thirst for knowledge. It's like, no, you don't want to be... I don't thirst for knowledge. I use knowledge. I have a curiosity for knowledge. You know? I appreciate knowledge. I'm grateful for knowledge. Thirst implies, you know, desire, want, and that implies that you might want it for the wrong reasons, you know? At least in my mind anyway, like, you know? Like I think there is a truth to the spiritual assessment of, like, you know, be careful what you wish for, be careful what you desire, be careful what you want, you know? Because you might get what you want and it might not be what you thought it was. Like, there's a big difference between wanting something and then having something. Like, believe me. Like, I was like, there was a point where I was like, what was I, 16, 17-ish, after my first, like, I lost my virginity and I had a relationship that lasted like just under a year with some blonde whore. Like, and like, there is a fucking big difference between wanting a woman and having a woman. It's one of the easiest, best examples you can give. It's like, there's a fucking huge difference between being like, oh my god, she is beautiful and she's nice, and oh, she likes the same TV shows I like, do you know what I mean? And you're like talking to her for like 5 minutes and you're like, oh wow, I really like you. Big fucking difference between what you think it will be like to be with her and then being with her. like fighting, you know? Big fucking difference between, like, I think I could take this guy, 3 seconds later, oh shit. Like, But I think that's what's funny about life. I love that about life. There's a big difference between being the witness and the, what would you call it? The actor. Yeah. There's a big difference between being the witness and the actor. Are you an actor or are you a witness? I'm an actor. I do shit. But I also do witness a lot, you know? I consume a lot of stuff. I look at other people's lives a lot, you know? I watch what other people do a lot. And I've often thought to myself, it's like I need to do more myself, you know? And it's not even that bad, like, comparatively to other people, like, who are, like, perpetually online. I might spend, like, you know, an hour total throughout the day intermittently on my phone watching things. No, I do spend a lot of time kind of half watching things, where, like, I'll be doing something or I'll be resting and I just have something on in the background. But, like, think about, you know, back in the day, people used to just do stuff all fucking day. You get up, have breakfast, if you had the food to have breakfast, and then you'd do shit all day. And then you would rest for a period in the evening and then go to sleep. If that. You might just, like, finish up and then, you know, just go to sleep. I don't think that's good for you, though. Like, do you know what I mean? There's a reason why there's, like, so many people freaking out these days. Of like, all I do is I wake up, I gotta work, I come home, I gotta sleep, I wake up, I gotta work, I come home, I gotta sleep. It's like, yeah, that's not being a human, that's being a bee in a hive. That's why you feel like shit. Because you're not a human, or you're not a bee in a hive, you're a fucking human being. But you're behaving like a bee in a hive. So your body and your mind and your spirit and your soul, whatever you want to call all that shit, like the trinity of materium that constitutes you, is screaming at you, being like, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. Fuck crypto. Oh, excuse me. Side of the barge is a bit boring. I'm gonna do something with it. While I'm waiting for the squid's eyes to dry so I can make them bright fucking green. Get some grey going here. Gotta make the side of this more interesting. It's very boring. Even that's a bit better. PEINTEINGU. Goo goo goo. Goo goo goo. Goo. Goo goo 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 bit of the easel's getting in my way. I can only go from here to here straight. This is where it's at. Alright, there we go. Let's see if I can... Ah. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Actually looks like a lip on the thing instead of just some weird black tube. Oh! Sesame! I need to learn how to say better out than in Japanese. Couldn't believe it when I looked up what is burp in Japanese and it's geppu. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. Geppu! Right, let's make some bright green. Telling you, mixing sky blue with just like basic yellow. I love the bright greens you get from it. It's much harder to do with ultramarine blue. Like, most of the time doesn't even work for me because ultramarine is just like, you know, it's much darker. Sky blue though, you mix sky blue with basic yellow and you get like a fucking beautiful green. This lime, shades of lime, grass. Fantastic. Uchi yo mo soto no kata ga yoi. That's a fucking mouthful. Uchi yori mo soto no kata ga yoi. Kata ga yoi. Yoi? Yoi? Yoi! Yoi! That's, yeah, yoi. Yoi. I really should, like, I know speaking Japanese is funny and all, but, like, I really should, like, just try and learn, like, some fundamental Japanese. Because it'd be so funny. I would fucking love it if I, you know, if I dropped something, or if the female came in and I pretended to be mad at her or something, like, you know, and just like go off on one in Japanese, like just fucking go off in Japanese would be the funniest fucking thing ever. Like, like, that's right. What did I used to say? I used to be like, it's like, it's a line from The Last Samurai. It means, who supplies their weapons? I thought that was like so funny to say randomly, like, say it really angrily as well, like, sure. Like, what the fuck did you just say? Who supplies their weapons? Oh, fuck. Sumimasen. Oh, I've heard that. That means excuse me. Sumimasen. 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 Do they say sumi? As like, is there a shorter version? I love the fucking I love like learning slang in a language is like the fucking best thing ever. Like, you've seen the housing market in Japan can buy a foot. Yeah, I've seen those videos on YouTube. You could buy like a nice house for like 30 grand. Now, fair, you have to move to Japan and like, but like imagine like. There's like loads of people in America that would like be able to afford like 10 of them, like, you know, like it's crazy. Gako no atama no sakura yo. What does that one mean? Gacho. How do you pronounce the? How do Japanese pronounce the? We call that a fleshkeen in Irish Oscoelga. When there's like no, it's not a fleshkeen. It's a fada. I think a fleshkeen is a hyphen. Can't remember. It's a little slash over a letter, over a consonant usually. We call that a fada. I wonder, like, so how I wonder how that works in Japanese, because there's that little thing over the O. So like, is that gacho or gakko? Gakko no atama no sakura yo. You goose-headed cherry blossom! Gakko no atama no sakura yo! You goose-headed cherry blossom. Oh, Jesus. I hope Margie's okay. She has me all worried now. Anytime she's not here, I'm like, is the old lady okay? Didn't she show up like 5 minutes after I said that last time? Very bright green right now. Yeah, very bright green. Love it. Love it. Oh! Recipe. I mean, sumimasen. Although we all have to admit that breast meat is far funnier, you know. Excuse me. Trying to see where would I put highlights on this fucker, because you know the way, like, it's like it's gonna be wet after coming out of the water, so it would have a shine to it, and like squids have that, like, well, I've never held one, so I don't know what they feel like, but they've got a shiny texture to them, so Make a very, very pale pink. Not quite white. Very pale pink. Painting, goo 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 goo. Seems bright enough. Just want to pick certain spots. Quite like it. Sumimasen. Just thinking there, like I didn't put there like don't squids have kind of like a triangular end to their tentacles? And if I wanted to, I could wrap these ones around here. Watch, I'm gonna end up working on this one for another episode or something. Painting is done when it is done. And also, this should actually be way more shaded. Yeah, should be way more like darker. That's the cool thing about, like, if you don't just follow the rule of 3 and go, like, you know, light tone, medium tone, dark tone, or whatever. If you, like, spread them out and go, like, 5, where it's, like, lightest, light, medium, kind of heavy, or heavier, and then really heavy. You get moments like this where, like, there's a highlight beside a low light, and, like, the contrast really makes stuff pop. And it's stuff like that like, you don't need to put a black outline on it because it's popping because of the contrast of, like, its own colors and shit. Like, yeah, like when I do shit like this, I don't like putting a black outline on it because I want it to look realistic, you know, or have that kind of style to it. But if I'm doing a derpy chark, I'm doing a derpy chark. Oh! Sumimasen! Yeah, because part of me, like, because he's kind of, I think it might be looking here. I know the eyes are kind of vague, but he's roughly looking here. So part of me is thinking, will I wrap his tentacles around and have him, like, he caught somebody trying to jump off the bridge, maybe? Or is he waving a flag? I could do him waving the fucking British flag. Yeah, the more I look at it, part of me is thinking, like, yeah, maybe I should put a tentacle coming out the other side. If you start learning Japanese, would you bring Baku Freizo of the day? There's loads of things I need to bring back or keep doing and all. And you guys don't be afraid to remind me. Don't be afraid to be like, how come you don't do this anymore? Or like, will you do more of this or whatever? Because like I said, I'm such a fucking scatterbrain that I'd be like, oh, this is cool, and then I'll just forget about it. You know, because like I'll think of something else. Like, so I need to like lock it down. You know. And I would like, yeah, I totally appreciate the help of you guys, like, you know, helping me lock it down. Of like, you guys like when I do this, and you know, because I know you love the whole starting a new PEINTEINGU thing. You know, like the numbers and where we going, what we doing, and all the hat and blah blah blah. And then like, because we have our own, like, I have tunes just for that part and all, but I only do that part like every few days because every time we start a new PEINTEINGU. So like, part of me does want to distill PEINTEINGU into like 2 or 2.5 hours of like, we do this and this, and every episode, like I'd like to be able to get to that stage eventually where I knock out a whole PEINTEINGU in 3 hours, and there's like phrase of the day, you know, a segment with Garlos, a segment with, like, we start off with Myro playing the piano and me singing the intro, and then we should do something a few minutes in, we should do some promotional shit with Garros in the corner, and then I think we should consult Boris when we go places, because he's our resident cartographer, Boris the Bear. And then I suppose, like, you know, Tobias Beakus Crowes doesn't really need to do anything, but I think it would be cool to have like a back and forth with a crow. It'd be funny, especially if I finally put a cigarette in his mouth. But like, you can't really like tell, do you know what I mean? if I was gonna put a cigarette in his, well, I suppose if I did a camera angle, you know. Was it one of you guys, or was it the female who suggested just doing screenshots, like doing still shots of them to start off with? Like the well, I suppose the monkey camera is actually not a still shot. The monkey camera is actually live, which is hilarious because nothing ever happens on it, but it's actually a live camera. like some of the things about this stream are actually so stupid, but that's what makes it hilarious. Like, I actually have a live camera feed to a monkey and a piano that don't do on. That could totally just be a screenshot, but I have a live camera going. Oh fuck. Shit's hilarious. I can't even remember any of the phrases of the day. Phraseo of the day! Fucking... It's just random shite, wasn't it? What's Griff saying? I love the live feed to a still monkey. One of my favorite things about the stream. That's like, I'd want it to be the same with like Boris the Bear or whatever. Like, even though they're not doing that, and if I interacted with them, I'd want you to be able to see it live. Like, do you know what I mean? So if I like tickled Boris's chin, you'd see my like hand come in off screen and be like, oh, "Are you good, Boris? How are you, brother?" Or if I got angry at Tobias and like whipped his cigarette off him, like, "Give me that!" No more nicotine for you, you fucking nocturnal knave. Like, I love alliteration. No more nicotine for you, you you creature of the night. What's about nocturnal nigger? I should have just said nocturnal nigger. No nicotine for you, you night-bound nigger. Like, let's say he's a crow, he's not a bat. Oh, fuck. Right. Okay. I have done a lot of work on Squidopus bridgicus here. Fucking and that's because I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed painting the squid a lot. Don't know why. Just very organic shit is very freeing, which is funny because like when you try to do human anatomy, it's like it has to look right. It does and it doesn't, because human beings come in all shapes and sizes and stuff, so it's just proportionality, really. You know, it's like your hand should be the same size as an open, the head should be the same size as the hand open, stuff like that. You know, like the rule of thirds, in the sense of like your hand is like, I think, was it your hand is a third of your forearm and shit like that, I think. I'm not sure. There's like loads of different ways to break down the ratios and the proportions. Real simple ways and stuff. The more I look at it, the more I'm just like, I could just keep going and going and going and going and going, you know? Like, I could put more shadows in on the bridge and stuff, and I could do loads of shit. But, like, I don't want to spend, like, ages on every painting goo, like, you know? I think Castle Liechtenstein was, like, one of the worst ones. I spent, like, 12 episodes on that or some shit. Like, no need. No need. I think it would be good to distill a painting goo into, like, if I could do it, 3 hours. It's doable, you know? It's totally doable. But I also wouldn't want to rush any of them. Because sometimes when I take my time, you know... Like, I don't think I would have been able to do... Like, the Cuban one, with that I only recently did, with the Transformer and the Crocodile and the fucking cassowary and, like, Pablo Escobar's house and all, like... I wouldn't have been able to bang that out in 3 hours. You know? So that was worth it. I think this is worth it. You know, the bridge looks alright. Squid looks cool. The brick orchestra. And the wallet throwing his money away. I like this one. I'm gonna leave it there. We'll just wrap it up, like, you know. There's enough. There's a detailed squid attacking the bridge. For some reason. I think that's why I want to do one more thing. I'm like, what's he looking at? The fucking autistic part of me is like, no, I need to put something here. That's like maybe pointing a gun at the squid, or fucking maybe an English knight ready to take him on or something. Check. That's like, I'm so torn. I'm like, I could just keep painting and it'll look better, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I don't know. No, yeah, I really want to put something here. Because it looks like the squid... It kind of looks like the squid has ascended the bridge to get to something, you know? Yeah, I'm thinking, like, maybe... I'm trying to picture it now. Will I put a knight up there with a sword? Decisions. What about, like, the damsel in distress? Let's do a blonde bitch in a dress. Hanging on to the fucking... Well, that doesn't make any sense. How the fuck did she get up there? I don't know. I'm overthinking it. We'll go on a night. We'll go on a night. Maybe a teapot pouring itself out. That's actually... That's hilarious. A wallet throwing away money and a teapot throwing... Just put... I can't do it anymore! Just leans over. Like... That'd be a hilarious animation. Don't do it, Tommy! Don't do it! I swear I'll do it! He just, like... tilts himself over and starts pouring all the tea out. He's like, no! Don't do it, Tommy! Tommy Teapot. The suicide of Tommy Teapot shook the town of Sheffield. Like, he'll be sorely missed. He was an excellent teapot. Made in the 1700s. He's been around a while. But he just couldn't take how woke and gay everything got. I can't do it anymore, man. I can't pour tea for faggots. I just can't do it. Starfish man. Yeah, I suppose that would kind of could do him like hanging off the side of it. Like, do a starfish with like a starfish with a pair of shades and a Glock. Like, I suppose I already have the pink stuff out now. Like. Oh, now I'm overthinking it like even more. Now I'm like I could do a monkey. Like, a knight would be cool too, but maybe hard to squeeze in. I think it's dope anyhow. Thank you. Domo arigato for your comment. A starfish would go with the team, I suppose, wouldn't it? I think old fucking Ian Gananu has hit the nail on the head. Poor Tommy Teapot. We will not see his like again. I put Princess Peach captured by one of the tentacles. All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna go all in, right? I'll do another 2 tentacles coming out the back here, and one of them I'm gonna do a starfish with like a weapon or some shit, and then I'll do a damsel in distress on the other one. Fuck it. I need to get the right shade of purple again. Didn't I cheat last time? I made pink, didn't I? Oh no, no, that's not cheating. I just took fluorescent pink out of the tube, didn't I? So I got that color. Yeah. Yeah, because you can kind of tell that he's a bit brighter than violet. Well, I suppose not really. That does give you a nice bright kind of like hot purple. Okay. 2 squirts of my tiny mister, and the goo is flowing. So you like come out like here, and I'll do this one. Wrapping around this. Over there. And then this one's going over and under. So we'll do it coming out here. Did a princess there. And this tentacles coming out here. I'll wrap around here. It's mad how quick this stuff dries sometimes. Like, I love it. It's so handy. But then sometimes you're like, oh shit, I don't have any time to work with that. But at the same time, because it dries so quickly, and because it's all opaque, or at least for the most part it's opaque, you just paint over everything. It's so easy. Right, damsel in distress. The damsel in distress is going to be... Yeah, we'll do her in a white dress, yeah. Pure white dress. So do it like this. Is there any of this left? It's fucking freezing cold. Jesus, I thought cold coffee was bad. Cold tea? My muscles are atrophied from laying down for the last week. So weak. The chi from the goo helps me carry on. Domo. You are most welcome. You are most welcome. Staburo-sama. Too much rest can fuck you up. It's very true. Make myself some flesh color. If you haven't already, remember to smash that like button like it has insulted your ancestors. And consider paying for PEINTEINGU by clicking one of the many links in the description. If you have any honor. Get a bit of red in there. Kind of have a tan color at the moment. Not quite Trump, but you know, like a natural tan. There we go, that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Obviously can't give her fucking beautifully blonde hair because it was blend in with the bridge. So either give her black hair, brown hair, or make her a redhead. I think brown hair will do. I've seen too many fucking redheads in media these days. I'm sick of it. These tunes are great. Good pick for today. Yeah, I definitely got the vibe right. Alright, yeah. Something just made me like, I was searching for tunes and I was like, yeah, that'll do. It's kept me going. I'm still have time. Just gonna do the bitch fucking like screaming like like as you would, you'd fucking like being held up by a giant kaiju squid. Kaiju squid. Where's the black? Right, we have our damsel. Will we just fucking leave it there? Nah, she looks kind of shit. Let me make her look better. Try and make her hair look nicer. Her hair looks a bit raggedy. Fucking squid just kidnapped Raggedy Ann. Come here, bitch! Need to get better at doing fucking hair. Bitch looks like she has a lion's mane. Oh, Margio! Margio-sama! You were in court! Did it go where? Did it all go where? Paintingu. Ooh, recipe. I mean, sumimasen. I mean, I suppose I should give our legs. It's like, the dress will cover the fucking thing. Note to self, being a perfectionist, not a good idea. This bitch looks horrifying. We're not losing a damsel on this one. The squid got one of the raggedy ones. This bitch will not be missed. No, I have to go back again. That'll be 3 times for a debt I wasn't supposed to owe back 3 or 4 years ago. Fucking typical. Typical. All the legal fucking bullshit can be so fucking exhausting. Right. I'm calling it. I'm fucking calling it. Nearly 3 hours. Did not plan on going over 2 today. Part of me was only going to do an hour today because I was fucking knackered, but once you get in the flow, once you get in the flow with the goo. She's a legless princess. A goblin took them from her as a child. Jesus Christ. That really sucks, Margie. Hopefully there's an end to that nonsense soon. Yeah, I mean, like, just stick to your guns, tell the truth, get a decent lawyer, and hopefully you'll be through it soon enough. That sucks, though. May the gods bless you in your court endeavors, Margie Osama. Who is she? Oh, she's just some bitch. Who did the squid kidnap? Ah, just some fucking bitch. Don't mind her. She will not be missed. But anyway, right. Fucking. This concludes English Brick Orchestra. It's done. It's finished. It has been signed. If you wish to purchase English Brick Orchestra, you may do so. Contact me. If you are a royal and wrong time Japanite, the price is €50. If you are a fairly recent newcomer, or you have never bought a PEINTEINGU before, or if you do not pay for PEINTEINGU, the price is €200. Because that's called balance. I shall return, same time, same price, same high octane, well, today was fairly chill, PEINTEINGU energy. Tomorrow is a new PEINTEINGU. So, who knows where we go or what we shall be doing. So, you better show up and find out, or your ancestors will look upon you with great shame. Until then, be good, be true, and be beautiful. Do what you're told. Be beautiful, be good, be true. Do it now. You scum, you filthy humans, filthy mortals. No honor, no respect. Terrible, terrible. Right, let's see us tomorrow. Behave, and I'll see you then. Much love, and remember to pay for PEINTEINGU. Look at my floppy top knot. Look at it, hypnotizing you. Look at it. Look at it. Love you too, Margie.